Okay, good morning. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Fantastic.
Good morning. Everybody can hear us.
So as well, I'm never sure. It always feels a bit awkward.
And then, yeah, if everybody can hear us, just give it a thumbs up.
Anybody can give us thumbs up. That'll be great.
Yeah, there we go. Cool.
Fantastic. Who gave us a thumbs up?
Yeah, we've got a few there.
I've got a few. 50 grand in your box. Good morning and welcome to the Building What's Next quarterly webinar with Element 8. My name is Yaku from Element 8. If you haven't joined us for these sessions before, it is essentially a quarterly update of all the latest and greatest on the product side, maybe some new technology features, some community news of which we will share today. But more importantly, we also go through a success story, a case study, showcasing some of the good work that our partners have done. And today is no exception. But before we get started, if you're not familiar with Element 8, if this is the first time joining us, very briefly who we are. We are the sole sub-Saharan Africa distributor of the Ignition Industrial Automation Platform, Sepasoft MES, and Canary Data Historian. Why we exist is to ensure a data-driven and flourishing future for industry. Our guiding principles are to humbly serve our community and industry, learn from others, and most importantly, share what we've learned. And what do we provide? In other words, what do we sell? Is intuitive and scalable industrial technologies that break down the barriers of cost and complexity. So that is Element 8. Thank you for joining us. You could have done many other things this morning. You chose to spend your time with us, and we appreciate it. So who's with you this morning? As I said, Yaku, I'm the team lead. I've got Gary Lowenstein with me.
Good morning, everybody.
Sales engineer, and then on the showcase side, the clever people that join us for the webinars, we have this morning, we have Dirk van Niekerk, automation engineer with Sync Systems. Good morning, Dirk.
Morning, everyone.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You're going to show us a couple of brag slides and some project work that you've done. Looking forward to it. And yeah, just a reminder, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. We do have a couple of minutes at the end reserved for Q&A, but we are always happy to answer questions as they come in when we can. So if you have any questions, yeah, let us know. And Luan, thank you, Luan.
Yeah, cool.
We never have your photo on there.
Yeah.
And you're the one that kind of runs the whole show. Luan that looks after our marketing and our contents will handle any questions that come through. Right, starting with a couple of product updates. Most notably on the ignition side, 8.3.6 that was released on the 21st of April. 8.3.7 is due next week.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, geez, can't keep up with the updates.
What's great about them is they're nice, small little updates. So it's quick and easy to get them in, and it's highly unlikely that it's going to have any negative effect on your organization. You know, it's not a big major thing that you're changing. Going from 8.3.6 to 8.3.7, it's a small update.
Yeah, small incremental updates and additions, as opposed to large, unwieldy updates.
You don't need to go out on tender. It's quick and easy to do.
So 8.3.6 was released on the 21st of April, and maybe some things that you would have missed between 8.3.5 and 8.3.6. I'm going to say 3 highlights. There's quite a few, but the first one is GDS, what we call Global Discovery Server. So you now have the ability to automate your certificate management from multiple OPC servers and devices from a single GDS or Global Discovery Server. So with this functionality, you can use an external GDS to centrally manage a dispersed system. And this is really helpful to strengthen security, industrial control system security basics. So that's quite a nice little feature. And then the second is file-based security provider. So it's essentially a new file secret provider that lets you read secrets and files on disks, or disks, as opposed to storing them internally on the gateway installation directory. So that's quite a powerful little feature. And again, all around security and vulnerability. And then maybe the third highlight is the overrides only tag parameter. And that's really as a result of really complex scripting needs or heavy scripting needs that a lot of people have. This parameter has been added to the system tag get configuration function. And what that means is when you're calling the get configuration function for a specific tag path, you can have just the local overridden properties returned. Yeah, that's quite nifty. It's quite handy if you have these large, complicated tag systems with heavy use of overrides. Quite cool. I think that was on the request list for quite a while. Yep. So those are some of the updates around Ignition. Do we want to show the demo?
Yes.
Let's quickly do that.
Yes.
There is a brand new, well, not brand new, it's been out now for probably just over a month, I think, or 2 months.
2 months.
Let me quickly bring up, I think it's worthwhile just showcasing that for a few minutes. So let me stop this share. And then I will share.
The joys of Mac.
No, it's not a Mac thing.
Oh,
it's not a Mac thing. It's not a Mac thing. It's definitely not a Mac thing. So you guys won't be able to see it. So the Ignition public demo has received an entire rework, probably the beginning of the year, maybe December. I can't remember. It was early the year.
It was early in the year that I saw it.
It was on the back of the 8.3 release.
Yeah. So what's great about it is they've reworked everything in the demo. So the old demos are still there, but they've added all the new features in Ignition 8.3, and going forward, every time there's a new feature, it gets added into this demo. And it's just a really improved look and feel to the whole demo. Just to remind everybody that all of the demos are available for download on the Ignition Exchange, together with the 500 plus other resources.
It feels like there's a couple added every week.
Absolutely. I remember a couple of weeks ago I was saying, there's 499.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it went to 500. Now last time I saw 530 odd.
Yeah.
540 odd.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
So all the traditional industry demos that was on the previous demo site still there. You still have the data center, the water treatment, BMS, I think there's a food.
There's a food, there's automotive, there's a battery one.
But this is the new one. This is the agriculture one. So I'm going to open it up here.
It's a really nice demo.
It is quite nifty. Yeah. So the demo is quite different to some of the other demos that you would have seen. And this one's not available for download.
No, it's not available yet. It'll be available soon.
Cool. What's really useful about this one is you go procedurally, step by step. You actually, I don't want to say commission, but you configure your MQTT devices. You do a little bit of work in the gateway. So they almost talk you through an example of how you would practically do it.
It's a really nice step-by-step way of how to get your MQTT set up and running.
But we're not going to do that today.
No,
that's going to take
we don't have the time.
So we're just going to skip right at the end to see what the end result looks like, which is essentially an overview of the application and the operations of this farm, which I see is in California. You do have the ability to do a crop forecast in terms of harvesting times, ideal times. That interacts with the SQL database, if I'm not mistaken. All of the weather add-ins are simply just APIs that pulls through. I really like this weather API, and they're very similar to some of the other ones that we would have seen. You can on the fly change your theme and your appearance of the application, which is always useful.
And one of the great things is the standard Ignition functionality of the dashboard, where authorized users can go and build their own dashboards based on the predefined widgets which are in the system.
Blank dashboard, and you essentially, through the grids, you can add your components. You can add your, let's do weather forecast. We'll resize it to that. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, you can go and configure all of this stuff. It's really, 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 it's such a great feature.
Make the map one a little bit bigger.
There's also the other thing that this app includes, of course, while you're
Device
busy
view.
playing with all your widgets.
Oops.
Is it allows you to, it's got the architecture builder, which is also available for download. It's got that whole architecture builder in the application, which is really nice to show you your architecture, what's working, what's not. It's great.
Yeah. And this is an overview. The architecture is actually live in terms of what is connected, sending. But it is an MQTT application, as it is a distributed example of how we would typically use that. So it's a really nice little demo, really neat to also help people understand what MQTT is. And then, of course, through the MQTT wizard, of which we, of course, cancel all the steps. It really is a follow along of how to configure on the gateway client side, device side, how to eventually get a full-fledged app.
Judging us all the components that are involved, which is great.
So yeah, nice new ad. Well, of course, we will share links of all of the resources that we're sharing today. Any questions, Ron? I see we do have 2 chats.
No, it's our messages. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that is a couple of highlights from Ignition. There's a lot more. As we said, we are expecting 837 next week, Tuesday. It's due for release. I think it's released.
So it'll be Wednesday our time.
It'll be Wednesday our time. Then on the Canary side, version 26.2 was also released early April. And this is the latest version, 6.2.
Yeah, 26.2 is the latest.
I may have missed it as well. They're also competing with Inductive in terms of updates. So the latest version includes several enhancements and security updates, but probably the most notable that's been added is the Power BI add-in. That is essentially built on top of Canary's web API for consuming data into third-party applications, but very, very, very nice.
It's nice. What I love about it is it's well documented.
Yes.
The documentation around it is really fantastic. In fact, all of Canary's documentation is really good. They've got the YouTube videos if you want to just get a quick look at it, but the rest of the documentation is really, really, really good.
Yeah. Quite nice to have that native Power BI through the API. Just a note that you will need a trusted security with a private key for the view service that your users are connected to for that, but that's pretty standard as far as security goes. And then on the collector side, not really a new feature, but the receiver service now has the option of writing data to a local store forward instead of directly to the historian. That's more a backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
compatibility feature.
The store and forward service is much more robust. In the old days, we used to use, I say the old days, 2023.
Old days, 2023.
The way technology is moving. We used to use the sender receiver service.
Yes.
And with the upgrade to version 24, they changed all of that to a single store and forward service. And now your receiver service can send to a store and forward, which is much more robust.
Definitely.
So it's a nice enhancement for where you've got old mixed with new. Because you might have an old piece of equipment that's still using the sender receiver service.
Yeah.
And you want to upgrade to 24, 26.2, you can write it to the new storm forward.
Depends on what your architecture looks like and where you've deployed. Yeah. Cool. And then the store and forward timestamps now the max normalization 1 hour. Okay. Which is more efficient, I think, less resource. Yeah. So that's 26.2. As Gary mentioned, the Power BI connector is included with the Canary system. And it is very well documented. I think we'll share the link to that specific resource. I think for a lot of the Canary folks, that'll be a nice one to read and understand, because Power BI is a very popular end client for Canary data. Cirrus Link has announced Chariot 3.0. I think this was a week ago or recently, 2 weeks ago. Now, of course, if you're not familiar with Cirrus Link, they are the developers of all of the MQTT modules that is native to Ignition, being the distributor, the transmission module, the agent, but they also have the Chariot server, which is really an enterprise and large-scale MQTT deployment platform. and they've added version 3 of that. They've added a couple of nice integration and performance enhancements. They now have support for IoT Bridge for Snowflake, support for containerized developments like Docker. They have also improved their licensing flexibility, especially around redundant MQTT, Chariot MQTT service. And there's been some Sparkplug B visualization type enhancements as well. So yeah, that's Chariot 3.0. And again, if you're not familiar with Chariot, it builds on the enterprise and large scale MQTT deployment architecture and experience. Quick updates from our side, very briefly, small things that you may have missed that's helpful. We have a pricing tool. I almost called it the new pricing tool, but it's been out for a couple of months now. Massive thank you to Gary and Marcus that built this pricing tool for us. We've always been transparent about our pricing and perpetual licensing costs. It's always been public, but we haven't had a local South African Rand-based pricing tool. So that is available now, version 1 of it, at least. Version 2 will maybe be mobile friendly. We'll see how it goes. But it is available right now, and you can easily create your own Rand estimate through a couple of steps. It's really simple and easy to select your product, number of different modules. It will give you recommendations, work out the support, and then you can also request a formal quote when you get to the end.
So what it'll do is that at the end, it generates a document for you, which gets emailed to us as well. And from that, we pick it up automatically and we will generate a formal quote for you.
Yeah. It's not that we don't like speaking to you. We love speaking to you, but now you can help yourself and then just request the final quote through to us.
And if you're not sure about what you need, reach out to us and we'll help you. We'll guide you.
For sure.
I've also shared a link in the chat if you want to check out the tool.
Fantastic. Thanks, Don. And then the second tool or calculator or interactive tool is our total cost of ownership tool. A really, really nice, helpful calculator, I suppose, but also a business case that was developed, that we co-developed with the team from Concera. So the title of this resource is the 10 million Rand question: does your legacy SCADA cost more than you think? It sounds very ominous, it sounds very theatrical, but essentially it is just a document to help you understand the costs, both known and hidden, of a legacy SCADA, some of the financial risk and liability that you have. And we've included with all of the good write-up stuff talking about modern future fit kind of aspects that you need to look at when considering a new SCADA system. We have also included this interactive tool that you can map your own infrastructure and requirements, and then you can get a bit of an idea of, based on, I could probably say some of our competitors. No one specific, just kind of legacy stuff. We've done a mapping to kind of do a comparison, and this is quite useful if you're trying to do a business case on the back of just risk mitigation of your legacy stuff that's old, aging. You need to potentially address that and migrate or modernize with something new. This is a resource that will really help for that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And then before we get to that, maybe just the last little update, which is absolutely worth sharing. Massive congratulations to Intake system integrators, Yaku and Brian Cooper, and the Intake team, head office down in Paardenvlei in Somerset West, that has become Ignition Premier. Yes, definitely, it's a celebration. Don't know who celebrated there, but it's definitely worth celebrating. Has become the latest Ignition Premier integrator. It is a phenomenal achievement, especially for a South African integration business. And it's a testament to all of the hard work that the team has done and some of the phenomenal applications that they've developed. So massive congratulations to the Intake team. No other comments, sir?
No.
Okay, I see it popping off my screen, so thanks, Lauren. Anything else before we do the Spanish Inquisition?
Let's get on. Are we going to put him in the stocks?
Dirk is also, we did have a couple of screens of some of the applications, some of the project work that Dirk and the team has done. And then he said, no, he wants to show it live. And Dirk, you're very brave, but it's always amazing to be able to show something live. So the context of this, and Dirk will talk through it, this is a central operations center that was developed with Ignition in this case. There's no Canary or Sepasoft. This is a pure Ignition application that the team at Sync Systems have developed. And it is really essentially in the kind of end-to-end warehousing logistics through to kind of end consumer kind of industry. So that's the background of this application. Well, Dirk, we probably want to kick it off with you and Sync Systems, who you guys are, what you do, kind of your experience, if that's okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Jaco and Gary. So yeah, my name is Dirk van der Kerk. I'm an EC&I engineer at Sync Systems. I've been with Sync Systems from 2021, so about 5 years now. Just a brief summary on Sync Systems as a company. We were established in 2010 in the mining and heavy industry as an LSTK project delivery company. Our core business module was therefore the electrical control and process automation for the mines and that environment. Only around 2010 or 2018, we started looking at the unit handling space. So the logistics sides, the warehouse management.
Is that what it's referred to in logistics, unit handling?
We would refer to it as unit handling.
Okay.
But you can also call it logistics or e-com. Those are all sort of the same thing.
Okay.
So by 2021, we started a strategic partnership with a company called Interroll. They were the mechanical providers to the roller belts, to the conveyor systems, and we became their, I would call, in-house electrical and automation partner for the jobs. This really strengthened our position in the package handling sector.
Okay.
And by 2023, we became a fully fledged mechanical, electrical, and control integrator.
Fantastic.
We started a second company called Sync Systems Automation. They started doing what Interroll was doing as well, started supplying the mechanical stuff.
Okay.
And this package of supplying mechanical, electrical automation really helped us to become a partner to our clients. So we started becoming a strategic partner to the likes of Takealot, Courier Guy, ShopRite, Fushini Group, just to mention a few. And since we were now no longer just providing them with a project or a product even, we were providing them a solution and a partnership. It's not
a what do we, it's a horrible term, but it's not a hit and run.
Yeah.
It's not a drop and disappear.
Exactly. Our clients were used to having their contractors being hit and run, supply and leave. They have to deal with their own mess. So we really saw the gap in the market where they needed some robust automation, more operational awareness and visibility, and long-term technical support. Someone they can rely on. This kind of shifted our business model from a cradle to grave approach.
Yeah.
Doing that, our maintenance team started seeing some gaps in visibility. Okay. And that's basically where we started thinking of this operations center and how we got it all rolling on. Well, we need some visibility, more visibility here, more visibility there. And yeah, that is
makes sense. As opposed to having eyes on a screen at site.
Exactly. And in the next couple of slides, I'll start talking about the problems we start seeing and where we think the operations center actually started showing value.
Nice.
So yes, just a couple of things I would talk about during this presentation is the operating challenges we saw, what a typical site would look like from any of our clients, what architecture we selected and what criteria we had to go through to select it, and then really what value we started seeing from our service department, from SSA and from our clients themselves. And then the last kind of thing I just quickly want to talk about what we see in the future expanding what to
nice
our operating center.
Forward-looking view.
Yes.
Very nice.
So, like I mentioned, the main problem we started seeing on site was that the local control system and reporting system is quite well, it works well, but it's all in silos. So each site, even multiple sites for one client, were working in silos.
Is that because the sites are very often so different?
They're different in architecture-wise, network-wise, and just the physical locations all over South Africa and sometimes even international. So different managers, different, all to the same company, for example. Therefore, the sites are built in, I want to say silos is the right word.
Yeah.
They look and feel a little bit
It's unique.
different.
Yeah.
Unique.
Yeah.
And they're built at different times.
Built at different times, different engineers from our side even had built different sites. So it doesn't always relate in the same naming conventions or same look and feel.
Yeah. And some sites may have, for example, if I look at the ignition site, some of those sites may have a gateway. Maybe there's an operation that runs an ignition edge.
For sure.
It's all very different from that infrastructure point of view as well.
We try to uniform in the way that we rolled out our ignition gateways, but for sure, different budgetary constraints would make that we need the edge license here.
Yeah.
Some clients don't need the full gateway solution; they just need some small visualization. But yeah, so not all of them look the same.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Other problems we also started seeing is what we call a reactive maintenance team. If the client reports a problem, we go look at the problem and solve the problem. Or if we, by chance, log into a system and see there's a problem, we'll try and solve the problem. We didn't really like this reactive system. It's costing downtime. Yeah. And we'd rather prefer to have a proactive system. So that's another point where we thought, well, the operating system will for sure allow us to be proactive.
Some kind of an early warning.
Early warning systems, even getting trends on recurring problems, so we can start nailing down where little bottlenecks happen due to problems or faults. We started seeing the value that we need something that can instantaneously tell us, so we can be proactive and long term see where our shortcomings are.
Absolutely. And if you have the ability to, whichever one of these clients or sites, if you have the ability to solve the problem before they're even aware of it, that's ideally what.
Well, in the next slide, we speak exactly about that. It's called, to go to the next slide.
Oh, there we go.
Situational awareness. So exactly what you see. If we can tell the client before they even know why this is important, is we need to know where it happened, why it happened, how serious this is, how we will need to respond, and then obviously how long did this happen and how long have we impacted our client. We try to do this through the right pipelines, so that we don't necessarily have to bother the engineer if it's something technical that the technician on site needs to handle. And we definitely don't want to tell the client until it's resolved, so that they can be rest assured that we're on top of the problems. Because part of being this partnership with these clients of ours, which we want to push the throughput as much as possible. Absolutely. We want to see them grow. We want to have control over the maintenance and make sure they don't have unnecessary downtimes. We want them to be as good as they can be. Yeah. Pushing their sites to maximum capacity all the time. Yeah. And part of that is solving the problems before they need to worry about it.
Absolutely. And I like the alerts and notification chain of command that you mentioned.
Yes.
Making sure that the relevant people are alerted at the relevant time, as opposed to just throwing it out to everybody, bringing the right people in at the right time.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So a typical site would start with the ignition server. We've got databases, client databases, our own databases. We've got Oracle on most of our sites. We've got multiple areas that we need to connect to. We also have a historian for tracking throughput. We've got barcode scanners that we need to maintain. Ignition is great for trending where a package is in a frame of a barcode scanner. We can see over time if a package starts shifting downwards, we know that the barcode scanner has been bumped or that it needs to be realigned or recalibrated. That it really helps us do the preventative maintenance that we would surely want.
Needs a new cable tie.
You could say so. Just means we need to tell the operators, this section here, don't come here.
Yeah.
You're bumping up our scanners too much. And then for the PLCs are also the main control system of the site. So we need the visualization to show which conveyors are running, which e-stops have been pressed. And yeah.
I like what you said, the data usually already exists. The challenge is extracting it, structuring it, making it useful centrally.
Yes.
That's so true. The data is, without context, the data is just data. It's nothing else until you add context.
That's with everything. With
Yeah.
every single industry, you see that they've all got all this data,
Yeah.
but they can't use it because they don't understand it.
Yeah. You need to create context between data sets for it to be valuable.
Yeah.
And there is also the potential, I don't know, what do they call it, manufacturing, mining, you call it kind of like plant operations, balance of plant. There is absolutely an opportunity to include other disparate but relevant and data silos, other data silos from other types of systems, include that, because the more you add with context, not just throwing it in a data lake, but the more you kind of add together with context, the more useful all of that becomes. So
it also becomes useful when you can compare sites to each other. So
it's apples and apples.
If you've got a recurring theme on one site, well, chances are you've got the same recurring theme on a different site. You just didn't know about it because, again, we're working in silos. We're not talking to each other.
Yeah.
And that even happens within one client with different sites.
Yeah.
That happens as well.
Yeah.
So bridging this connection between sites, having apples for apples all the time really shows us, oh, we've made these mistakes on these sites, but we fixed it. Here's how you fix it on this side.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so important.
Unifying and making it all look the same on one central point is very important.
Yep.
I think that's the first point there. Different site architectures and naming conventions. Make it look all the same.
Yes.
Somewhere.
That's the first point. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a bit of a disaster depending on what that naming convention looks like by the, I don't know, maybe the engineer at the time that designed or developed. It could be quite a task.
They're mostly different.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the operating set is, well, I don't care what it looks like on a different site.
Correct.
I know what I want from that site. I'll just send it through MQTT to my gateway, and it's going to look the same every time. Thanks to Sparkplug B, I can create a multiple of UDTs based on the information, and it will all look the same for me.
Yeah.
Even if the sites look different themselves.
Yeah.
It's such a nice thing to hear. Yes, I'm going to make everything look the same. I'm not going to panel beat it. I'm just going to use standard functionality to make it the same.
Yeah. Network restrictions, unreliable connectivity, that's always a challenge.
Yeah, there's always this OT versus IT fight. I'm pretty sure everybody has that fight all the time. But we live in South Africa where connection is not always that reliable.
Yeah.
Client mostly doesn't have network that they can provide us. It's all local network that we provided ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes the client asks us, what can you help us with?
Yeah.
Using the architecture that we're using, it kind of bypasses most of those problems. If the IT doesn't have a problem, because MQTT is quite secure, so they usually don't have a problem using that.
It's essentially one port.
Yeah, it's allowing one port to go through,
and you can configure your own security around it.
Yes.
That's the big thing to remember, is that with MQTT, you can configure your own security around it. So whilst it's one port, you can apply other security postures to that MQTT environment.
Yeah. And the event of it being unreliable and disconnected, you've got the store forward capability as well. Yeah. So your data may be laid, but it's not lost.
But you'll see in the next slide when we talk about the architectures, MQTT is luckily super lightweight. You can run it off very small computers or even Raspberry Pis. That also gives us the ability to put 4G SIMs heads on the Pis, so we don't even need reliable infrastructure. We just need a cell tower.
Small, cost-effective, small footprint, cost-effective architecture that you need.
Yes,
that's what MQTT enables now.
And it needs to be repeatable. You need to be able to have a standard thing that you put on a Pi and just ship it to site. Someone plugs it in and it just works.
Yeah. Once you get permission from IT to plug it in. Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned avoiding unnecessary changes to the PLC logic. That's obviously critical.
Yeah,
in
that's
any
the
event.
important thing for us is we can't have downtime on our sites ever. This MQTT solution is very non-intrusive. We implement it on site. PLC doesn't even know anything happened. The ignition server doesn't even know anything happened, and the operators don't know anything even happened.
That's great, because every time you touch something, if it breaks, whether it was your problem or not, the operator, oh, he touched it, they broke it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really nice.
And doing this, we've done it on a couple of sites now, and it was super easy. It was plug and play almost. And I plugged it in, left, went home, already started getting data through. It's super easy. There is one caveat, but I'll speak about it a little bit later.
Okay.
But yeah, further that, it's super easy, and it already just pulls information through.
And this is not disrupting any of the existing ignition gateway operations or function, or
Well, there's the one caveat that
from a resource perspective.
no, not at all. But the one problem I did have on sites is in order to get the information off ignition,
Yeah.
we've had to restart the gateway.
Just at once to enable the.
But
Okay.
that's a 5-minute problem.
Yeah.
You can do any time when you have a downtime. So that's the only intrusive part that we had. But ignition just restarts, works again
Once it's running. Yeah.
once it's running.
Okay.
So this is what we've got so far, without going into detail to specific sites, but we've got our multiple of sites. Then we've got a Raspberry Pi, or
If IT was not too concerned, we've got their hardware doing the work for us with their permission.
going through a third-party
MQTT transmitter to a MQTT broker in the cloud. I've not given any specific names because there's a multiple of cloud brokers you can use.
There are, yeah.
In the future, part of what we would like to do is we'd like to use Ignition as our MQTT broker itself, using the distribution module.
Distributor model, yeah.
We've got it. We would just during the proof of concept, we started just using the MQTT broker in the cloud.
Yeah.
It's just super easy to do. There's nothing difficult about MQTT at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a number of MQTT brokers today.
Yeah.
But either perpetual licensing or subscription scales fairly easily as well. There's no shortage of MQTT brokers, yeah.
And then from the MQTT broker, we can go to our in-house Ignition server, where we've got
the reporting module, we've got
This is based at your
based on our office, yes. We've got our
database where we're storing information. We've got some cloud databasing
that we're also doing. I'll show you in the live demo where we need that.
And then we've got a third-party Ignition module
to help us with notifications to WhatsApp, email, all that nice kind of things.
Is that Twilio or something different?
I think it's Twilio.
Twilio, yeah. Fantastic. Okay. And the nice thing about this architecture is it's easy to replicate.
For sure, we can plop as many of those sites down.
Yeah.
Point them to the MQTT broker, works done.
And for the monitoring of a site, it's a really nice, lightweight solution. Really nice, lightweight solution. Nice.
So
This is the first version of your operation center at your office, eh?
yes.
Okay.
So you recognize our boardroom where we've got our service manager, Cindy Love, quickly modeling for a few photos for us.
The system was in part made to assist her in her job. So she gets the phone calls from the client saying, "Oh, we've got a problem. Can you send an engineer?" We started seeing that it's a lot of the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
And it takes her a lot of time to see who's available, who can she send, who's the right person to send. Now we've kind of taken that off her plate, saying, well, here's a dashboard, here's all your sites currently that we've got relationships with. If something happens, you'll see a little notification saying, go look at this. She can already preemptively send to the technician, or the technician will get the WhatsApp, but she'll know. She'll be up to date on what's happening, which site is down, why is the site down. And it really helps her.
Yeah. Nice.
So we were talking about the pipeline for the right people getting the right messages. So
we've got an example here of our
WhatsApp messages that we send through to a client on events that happen on site.
So we've taken an e-stop pressed as a example for this one. We can have the first layer, which is the
On-site technician from SSA that's permanently based there.
Build the logic in terms of notifications.
Yes, we're using, the nice thing about Ignition is Ignition handles all that stuff for us. We're using different alarm pipelines. We're using UDT specific alarms.
Nice.
There's little effort I have to do once everything is set up. And since everything is pulled through MQTT, the Sparkplug B already formats everything and automatically detects and pulls attacks for us. So it's
It does that auto birthing, is that the right term? Yeah.
rebirthing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing. I can delete my entire MQTT folder by accident and just wait a couple of seconds and
And it's back.
everything's back.
That's actually what's demonstrated in the agri demo as well. The online agri demo that's demonstrated. Yeah.
So that's really helpful.
so the first
Notification that is assigned to the technician on site will tell them where something happened and
that it needs to go look at it. It gives the site name.
the area and how important this alarm is.
Urgency. Cool.
Then let's say we didn't have a technician on site or he's busy with other stuff.
We've got a hourly downtime summary.
So we can tell the manager or the operating manager on site, listen, your sorter has been down for an hour already. Someone needs to go take a look at something. We rarely send this message because our technicians are quite on
My slides start down, it never gets to an hour.
But let's say it's something not as critical as an e-stop, something very low priority. Oh, a important sensor has just been misaligned a little bit. You've got down or you've lost a little bit of throughput in the last hour. Maybe you need to go send someone there just to go take a look. We won't necessarily send our technicians for non-critical items.
Yeah.
They need to be ready to handle the big stuff.
Yeah.
And then the daily,
Or we can even do weekly reports to the site managers or even the higher ups saying, listen,
your site's been running well or not well.
Sometimes we can't solve the problem immediately and we need to tell them, well, your throughput has gone down for X, Y, and Z reasons.
Yeah.
This is what you can expect. Most of them won't even have to log into any of the sites to look. They just look at the summary.
Just look at the summary.
And they already know who to call and ask why. And that really just
Helps them
know what's going on. That's the visibility that we're trying to create.
Definitely. You've got the causes of downtime, which is exceptionally, if you're a manager, for example, the causes of downtime, to identify just who to get involved to fix something.
Yes.
So that's really useful to understand where the main downtime has happened.
But also this has been sent to him.
Yes.
Rather than reactive, he's got to go and physically remember today I've got to go and look at my report. It's Monday, I need to look at my report.
He doesn't have to log into anything.
He's getting this automatically on his device.
And you become dependent on that daily. If you don't get it every day.
That's the one thing we saw is clients who'd never had something like this and had to do it the manual way. If they don't get it, they start panicking. Why have I not got my report?
Easy way to
That's
sell
how-
something.
No,
Give it to him for a week and then switch it off.
And
what does it
make him dependent on it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
What has the reception been to WhatsApp? We find that it's becoming more and more popular as a alarm notification.
No, it's perfect. It's an amazing
Yeah.
tool to get just a quick notification. Oh, this has happened. Okay, I can read it when I'm traveling or whatever the case is.
It's becoming definitely
I
more.
don't have that much access to my emails all the time, so getting an email report even is less useful than a quick WhatsApp every day or every week.
It's really pervasive. It's really popular, WhatsApp. So I think most people have WhatsApp in any case already.
Yes.
So, all right.
Yeah, I saw a statistic. 97% of users in South Africa are using WhatsApp.
Yes. Yeah. Dirk, thank you. Do you want to show us?
Let me see if I can. I'm not sure how to share this one. Share. I think I'm sharing. Possibly.
It started?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's just
Your screen.
Okay.
let's just drag it across. so we can see it there. But yes, you can work from your screen, please.
That's better because there's often a
Yes.
delay between the two.
So you'll notice that I've just removed any client-specific names. And
Oh, well done.
This is just a small demo. It's just to showcase some of the things that we can do. So
You're not, there's no risk that you're exposing anybody's operations or
no risk.
vanilla.
So we'll first met with a nice map from the ignition options that were available. On this, we are met with some of the sites. Obviously, as we grow, we'll have more sites visible. But for now, I've got 2 sites as an example. You'll see one of them just went black. That's an alarm just being dealt with. If it goes red, that means you've got an active alarm on the site. We can see the site in Durban doesn't have any alarms. The one in Johannesburg actively just got solved.
Okay.
It's back again though.
So just a bit of situational awareness just through the color of the pin.
Yes, it's already
Nice.
this can be your home screen, the hover screen. If all the pins are black, you can go on with your day without having to worry. But we also have the native ignition alarms page where we can actively go look at actual faults happening. All of them are currently critical. We're sorting out through what the customer deems is important and what not.
The alarm rationalization tool may be useful depending on how many and what it looks like and how busy it gets. Especially if you've pulling in a lot of potential, a lot of alerts, highs and lows.
Well, that's also where the pipeline also starts being useful. If you know that all of these motors will fault on an e-stop, well, then use the pipeline, make the alarms be easier for yourself to understand.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we started doing as well.
Good.
Then quick thing I want to show is, so I mentioned in the architecture that we've got a cloud database as well that we connect into our home. So we've got all our engineers and clients on a database with time schedules on who is currently on standby.
Fantastic.
We can use the information directly in Ignition. So we can use that with the scheduling service from users and start scheduling who needs to get the Twilio notifications.
This is essentially managing your desk of people that's available and checking.
I don't have to tell Cindy who to tell. She already has the schedule already of who's on standby, who needs to get a notification immediately. We are also expanding this to handle all the technicians on site as well. So this is currently just for the engineers.
Lovely.
But that makes it nice.
So not a SCADA in this case, but just managing of resources to make sure that you're available now.
And it has all the contact information for the customers, which helps on Twilio side. I don't have to manually enter anything. It pulls it straight from this database, which sits somewhere in the cloud, and gets updated by our service manager.
Amazing. Lovely.
Then just for an example, one of the sites. So another thing that clients don't have that great of a visualization on is, well, what's all the information doing on site? What is my throughput on site? They've got the local version, which is giving the same information, but this is it's not easy for them to access. They need to go walk around or open the browser. They don't have this at their fingertips all the time necessarily. Us having the information locally means we can send them that information over WhatsApp. We can send them reports every week. It just makes their lives a little bit easier. For this specific site, we've also started tracking on what the main causes of their problems are, and we can see on this specific system, the small sort on this site, the most problems we saw with the gap was closing too much. Well, now we can start looking at why. That answers the question to why do we have shortcomings on this system. I just want to show you another page. I mentioned that we've got barcode scanning position. So this table will show you actually where your packages are being positioned.
Yeah.
And you'll see over time, because we can do this for any time range that we've got data for.
You can
see, let's go back to April. There was a noticeable difference in April or somewhere. So you can see that some of the barcode scanners now, it's not necessarily the barcode scanners, some of the packages
just a position.
So just the position. So we notice on this site, specifically on this.
But it's a nice visual trend to understand
Yes.
if it's moved, if it's
So
happening.
we noticed that one of the aligning diverters
Yes.
weren't aligning all the way it should have. And we can see, well, over time, the packages started moving
From this visual trend, you can.
from the
see that.
visual pen. You can see the barcode scanner gives you the information that this is what's happening.
Very cool. Nice.
And yeah, that's the next thing I was.
The volumes of packages that have been moved.
And in the last slide, I'll talk about more about how downtime actually can really have a great impact on us.
Yes. Yeah. It's a lot of units.
So quickly want to show, okay, this is the alarm page and our engineering page. So this is typically where we have all the possible alarms for a site and who is supposed to look after it. I've just redacted all information.
That's fine. That's fine. We get the idea. Very nice.
I just want to show on a different side, we also have a history of all the alarms that happened.
Yeah.
So we can go back for as much time as we could report and say, well, what happened last week? Because last week something happened and we didn't get throughput. You can see in the trends of throughput has gone down significantly. Well, we can go back and see, well, oh, this chute has been full. And we can go look at all the instances of the chute. This chute's been full a couple of times. Just in the last 8 hours, you see this chute has been full about 8 times. So that really gives us a lot of information of what's happening outside. It gives us all the visualization that we need. And then last thing I just want to show is this one page. I think it's this one. This also gives us a nice indication of when is the peak time in our client sites.
Yes.
We can
Visually
see,
again. Yeah.
visually you can see our clients start running 8 o'clock in the morning and stop running at 4 o'clock. So we can see that is their peak time. When does the system need to perform its best? We can start telling our technicians, okay, be ready to keep the product running or the site running, especially during these times.
Is there a view to build a mobile version or
Not at the
an app
moment.
or an app version?
Not at the moment.
I understand that currently it's at your head office and there's monitoring sites and there's a dedicated process for that. But it may be nice for any of these engineers to maybe have a mobile view as well.
So the idea is to, in the future as well, publish technician sites to our clients so they can actually access their own information.
See what you see.
Seeing what we're seeing
Amazing.
real time. That will also really help them.
Nice. Lovely.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. I know it was not difficult, but it was tricky to get around not sharing your customers' IP or information. So thanks for that. Appreciate it. As always, the sensitivity. I'm just going to bring the slides back up again.
The UI design is very nice and intuitive. Yeah, it seems very easy to navigate.
Okay,
Yeah. And on the alarming, you can probably you would maybe want to start looking at ISA 101 kind of alarm philosophies and things like that. Once you start focusing on that.
I mean, one of the huge opportunities here is to start analyzing when these regular alarms come up, what was done, and start using some
what the resolution was. Yeah.
Well, what the resolution
Times to resolution is important, but also
what that resolution was in order to build up a database. And you can then start using all these, the likes of machine learning, AI, so that you can start reducing that time to resolution and start maybe doing much more preventative, taking preventative measures around it.
Yeah. That's where the information becomes wisdom that you can then data
absolutely.
information wisdom. I'm back up here.
Yes.
Do that. So thank you for sharing that live. I think we spoke through most of these things already.
I believe you've been through it. Yes.
You've just mentioned what you mentioned a stronger base for proactive maintenance discussions. Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. This is the impact that you mentioned earlier.
Yes, this is the impact. So a typical client would handle about 20,000 packages an hour. Some of them handle but more.
And if you have only 4 hours of downtime a month, that is 80,000 packages. But I would like you to think of it as 80,000 people
Yes.
being influenced per month by not getting the next day delivery. Or I don't know if you guys have noticed, but some of the big package companies, they started delivering after 5, started delivering
Yes.
until 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Most of us like to deliver our items to the office where we are most of the day. And
Correct. Yeah.
after 5, we're not at the office anymore. So these are the kind of influences that having downtime has to the real life people.
Cause a less than ideal user experience.
You know,
customer
you can
experience.
just look at straight costs. So you've got, I see they run a shift. They run a shift from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and they run that shift. If they lose time in that shift, they now either have to run an overtime shift, which is significantly more expensive.
We kind of looked at it, and the problem is they never really catch up.
That's the problem.
It's like a run rate in cricket. Once you're behind, you're behind, and it's difficult to catch up. Yeah.
If you don't, so they do have time to run an overtime shift, but that overtime shift is so expensive, you don't want to do it. You may not be able to do it in terms of the labor laws.
Yeah.
You may not be able to run that overtime. So you lose 100 packages, you lose 100 packages.
Yeah.
And what we see is the example I had was a shift where this company specifically runs from 8 to 4, but most of the companies run 24-hour shifts.
Yeah.
If they're only 24/7, they've got
If you
no
lose
time.
packages, you don't catch up. You take the loss.
Yeah.
So having uptime is really important.
And it's all that confidence stuff. I saw something the other day, confidence lost.
Yes.
It's easy to lose confidence, but it's so difficult to regain it.
Yeah. This is some of the future stuff you're looking at doing?
So yes, some of them we've mentioned. What some of our clients now started thinking is, well, it's great that you're showing us your system, but can you show us other systems that we've got?
We've got a building management, we've got HVAC stuff, we've got potentially
forklift chargers that we
Yeah.
need to look at the batteries. We need to look at
I'm sure all of those have some API of some form.
some
probably.
API or
Or a
some
database.
OPC server or something that we can connect to. We can connect to all the information, and Ignition is great because I think I do mention that how agnostic Ignition is, that it doesn't care if it's got a method of connecting, we can use Ignition for it. And having Ignition as a center gateway on all of these sites just makes, well, I've already got the MQTT network
Yeah.
available. So
Infrastructure already exists.
infrastructure already exists. Connect me, I'll gather all the information, trend it, and show it to you.
So this will almost be you need to come up with a name for this thing, like a operations, like a 3-letter acronym that sounds like an AI name.
Yeah.
Your system to manage your operation.
Not a UOC, not a unified.
No,
Let's
almost call it like a value added dashboard, a VAD.
VAD, yeah. Maybe add an L in there, and then it can be Vlad.
Vlad.
For something. But absolutely, and I think once that infrastructure exists, it's so easy to pull other things in. You would just have to, from an MQTT side, you're fine because it's fairly lightweight. But from a resource intensity, you would just obviously need to keep an eye on, that health. But incorporating, for example, the Ignition that's running on a site, incorporating that system's health, CPU, kind of availability, RAM, all of those things. It's so easy to just pull all of those things in.
Yeah.
For your
And we're lucky that most of these sites are using great hardware and great network infrastructure locally. So it's not, I don't think we'll ever have a problem.
Yeah.
Resource wise, it's just running.
Yeah. I think these are some of the screens that you shared. I think we've looked at all of these. That's divert to fails. I'm sure we can share this afterwards for what we haven't looked at. Closing thoughts. That's your thoughts.
Yes. Yes, like I said, centralized visibility creates faster support, better client conversations, and a stronger base for proactive maintenance.
Definitely. And there's so much more you can add to this.
Yeah.
I know you've shared much more than this with inductive automation. They're quite excited about this. So hopefully over the next couple of months, we'll see the final result and the story as a case study, as a video case study. But thank you for sharing what you were able to share. Really, really helpful and fantastic.
Very thought-provoking.
Yeah.
because it just shows what can I do. I see there's a couple of people that are giving you applause, dude. Well
Thank you
done.
very much.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. And again, thank you for sharing. I know it's often sensitive stuff, so you could only share little bits and pieces,
But
but
it's a very nice little project, or not little, it's a very nice project.
it is essentially little in terms of infrastructure and cost and time. It's not cheap or
but-
little.
But I think the value that it's adding is huge.
Yeah,
And that's always what people look at. They look at it and say, what value am I going to get out of it?
absolutely. And it doesn't necessarily always mean a massive spend in terms of infrastructure and things like that.
Yeah,
If you
just
have
goes
the right security considerations, security hygiene, you could use really lightweight things to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Oh, well done. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. And please thank your team as well for allowing you to share. We are over time. Sorry about that.
As usual.
With 1 minute.
1 minute, not
Yeah.
too bad. We've
Yeah.
been 25 minutes over.
Yeah.
But that's why we have these things on Fridays. We find that you are usually a lot more patient on a Friday. Just a very last note from us. I think we've mentioned this the last couple of webinars. So you don't forget, if you have an Ignition Gateway license or a Canary license or Sepasoft, you have free training. If you're not aware of it, we've tried to send as many emails as we can and mention it to people as often as we can. You do have free training seat. We would love for you to use that training seat. And what's more, if you want to bring more people on training, we've now incidentally also added a few in-person training sessions in Johannesburg and Cape Town. Durban. If you do want to bring more people along, we want to meet you halfway. If you have a team of 20 that you want to bring on the 2-day Canary or the 5-day Ignition, if you pay for 10, we'll do the other 20.
We'll match you 1 for 1.
Absolutely. We're very passionate about making sure that you are enabled and you are familiar with the software and the platform and that you can help yourself. So if you have any questions about training, please let us know or scan that, but we'll also share a link to that information. I think that's about it.
Yeah, we've got one question.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, from Anonymous.
Anonymous, yeah.
How does the alarm notification to WhatsApp work if there is a site failure and all the alarms go off at once? Would the technicians then be bombarded with multiple messages or one big message entailing all the fault conditions?
So to give it a little bit of a technical background, our polling rate for our OPC to MQTT is limited to 3 seconds. So
3 seconds, okay.
So if an alarm is active after 3 seconds, that's still a little bit of a delay you'll have, but after 3 seconds, you'll get an active alarm. But then as well as we've got filters set in for criticality. So not all our alarms are critical. You really have to be mindful of what is a critical alarm and not.
Yeah.
And using the pipelines, we kind of filter off, well, we know all of these alarms are critical, but they happen in a cascading mode. If I know that this first up alarm happens and it will cause 10 critical alarms down the line, well, I won't alarm the 10 critical alarms until this one's dealt with. Okay. That kind of keeps the technicians from being overloaded with constant alarms and
of course, because
bombardment of a bunch of.
But that's the case. Nothing is important.
Everything is critical, nothing's critical.
Yes.
So you're using almost first up alarming to identify that he only gets one notification.
It's to the pipeline we've identified, well, this is the first up alarm. It will cause a cascading of alarms to happen. Don't alarm yet.
Very nice.
I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Anonymous. Good question. Nice practical question. Any other questions? No?
No.
Real
Other
good.
questions?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Dirk, thank you very much for sharing.
Thanks,
we
Andrew.
will share a recording of the presentation. If you want to share this with anybody else, or if you want to get in contact with Dirk, we will share the Sync Systems contact information as well. But thank you very much for joining us on this Friday.
Yeah. Have a super weekend.
Wherever you are in South Africa or Africa, it's pretty cold in Joburg. So wherever you are, stay warm over the weekend. And our next webinar is
Innovate.
Innovate webinar.
Yeah, end of next month.
And the topic is?
We'll have to confirm with my
When we send out a summary of our our time together today, we'll include a bit of an advert for Innovate. Innovate, in case you don't know, is a very, very practical, hands-on session that Marcus Oosthuizen hosts, which is very focused on a specific topic inside of Ignition, Canary, Sepasoft.
Very technical.
Very technical. So if you're anything like me, clueless when it comes to the tech stuff, you're welcome to join, but you probably won't find it valuable. But if you're a techie engineer, you'll find Innovate really helpful. So we'll share the advert for that. Thank you very much, Dirk. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Gary, thank you.
Thanks.
Luan, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.